mixed martial arts. So what it is basically a combination of all the combat sports, right? And then they run competitions or tournaments, right? Right. Like there are competitions there are federations like the UFC. We have Bellator, and then here in Africa, I know there is UFC. Yeah, and then is it China? Yeah, China. They have uh, this MMA competition called One Championship. So yeah, that's what it is. It's a combination of different combat sports.
Okay.
Yeah.
For people that watch that have come across the sport, ba bona go tliwa di-face hela, ba bona go ragiwa using chokeholds. Maybe can you break down some of the fighting styles or techniques that are used at the do, for the mixed martial arts?
Yeah, definitely. As I said, it's a combination of different combat sports, right? I'm talking about your karate. I'm talking about your boxing. I'm talking about your taekwondo. I'm talking about your Brazilian jiu-jitsu. What else is there? I'm talking about your sambo from like this fighting style from Russia. So yeah, that's what it is basically, right? You have all these combat sports all buzzed into one, which is MMA. So like these competitions, right? You fight with whatever style you want, right? It's like if you are a master of in karate rather, you can come up to the competitions and then show us your stuff, right? If you feel like you can beat other guys who use different styles than you, basically they're just giving you that platform to showcase your 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 sporting style or your combat style.
In one of the fights that I saw for UFC, there was a guy who
Yeah.
was, I don't know if he was doing kung fu. Is it one of the, no, like really, I really saw one of the guys doing it. Is it one of the
Yeah.
techniques that are allowed in the sport?
Yeah. As I said, like any combat sport, right? Like if any style that uses fists and uses like kicks and stuff, right? It's all allowed in MMA. We don't care if you do kung fu or you come in there and do backflips or whatever. But if you can fight, right, and if you feel like you can beat other guys who like have a background in boxing and that's all they do, right? If you feel like you can beat them, right, MMA is a platform for you. So, like, I don't know which fight you saw, the guy only using kung fu, but I feel like you have to have mm, like a culmination of different styles in the way you fight, right? You don't have to necessarily come with one fighting style. I don't know. Some guys just go to the UFC federation and just fight there using boxing, but their careers are normally short, right? So they don't last that long.
So how safe is the sport? Because from the fights that we see, they're usually brutal. How safe is the sport?
Uh, Come on, man. Combat sport, combat sport is dangerous. Like but once you master a certain fighting technique, right? Here's the insight. You kind of like know all the danger points, and when you compete, right? Because UFC in itself is an organization that allows competition, right? So you you basically come to know of all the points that are dangerous, and you don't do that, right? You kind of like focus on the art itself, and then try focus on winning. But if you harm another person, like you break their legs or something, right? That means you are still far from what we call MMA and competing in these different MMA organizations, right? There's a fine line to how these guys compete. Basically, you don't like hit another person at the back of the head. You don't hit another person like in the private parts. That's not allowed. You don't kick a person to the head while they are down. So there are many rules that we can cover that make the sport in itself not that very dangerous. But it has that aspect of like it being dangerous because you are hitting the other guy, right? So you're basically getting points by hitting the other guy, right? So yeah, there's like a fine line between the sport being dangerous and it being a, an art, if I may say that.
Right. Right. Um, let's take the UFC for example. Have there been any reported deaths due to
That's like in
yeah,
the ring. Uh, Not since I followed the sport. I
yeah,
maybe like in the olden days when they didn't have like when they didn't bring in all these bodies for regulations and whatnot. When it was just brawling, and if you knock the other guy out, you win. But nowadays it's kind of like controlled, right?
yeah,
You have like your I don't know what they call on that side, but it's like this governing bodies, athletic governing bodies, right? Guys who do testing, guys who do nutrition and stuff for those fighters, right? So basically, there's a lot around the fighting in itself and making sure that it's safe. But since I follow the sport, I haven't heard of any deaths. Maybe you have.
no, I think having watched some of the fights and some of the knockouts that I've seen,
Yeah,
either you feel or you think um, these one of these guys is dead or he
yeah.
broke his neck or something like that.
Yeah. There can be injuries, right? As I said before, like if you injure another guy, that means that you still have a very long way to go in like mastering your craft, right? Usually, what these guys do is they either use their styles to submit you or knock you out, right? Or like gain points till the end and they win by points, right? So coming back to that one of injuries, I think there's no way you can avoid it. There's no way you can avoid it. This is a fighting sport. This is a fighting sport. So if I hit you in any like part of your body, if I hit you hard, you're going to have injuries for sure. But these guys, they train. They have guys who look after the bodies. Their nutrition is really good. They're tested for drugs and whatnot. So their bodies can take damage. Some guys have been doing this thing for over 20 years, like being knocked on their heads for over 20 years. So it's you know they can take it. They can take it because their bodies allow for such.
So What do you think is the average lifespan of a typical UFC fighter?
That's a that's that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But if you can think it on this level, right? If you win your fights, right? That means you have your body's not taking damage, right? So that means you have um, much more of like you have more healing time, like for your body, like you like you have like uh, okay, let me rephrase this. If you win, that means you don't take damage. And if you don't take damage, that means you can have more fights. And if you have more fights over a long period of time without getting damage to your body, your career can span throughout decades, man. Like as I said, like that guys who has been doing this for over 20 years. So if you're good, yeah, you can last long. But if you're not that good, some guys come into the UFC, have maybe 3 or 4 five fights, and then everything just goes downhill from that point, and they eventually leave the sport.
So looking at the UFC as a brand,
Mhm.
what distinguishes them from other brands? Then what they also promote MMA. Because with UFC, I don't know, the presentation, the package, it's
Yeah,
nice
yeah,
compared
yeah,
to some of their
yeah.
counterparts. What makes them different?
Okay. There's this guy, Dana White. This
Yeah.
guy is no marketing. No marketing. Like this guy is. They've been doing this thing for I don't know, 30 years, is it? Yeah, I have to check like the date they started, but they've been doing this for a very long time. They know all the big boys that they need to go to make sure that everything runs smoothly. Like the branding, they started merging with ESPN. They started merging with brands like I don't know, is it like those brands? I'll be on the wrong track, but yeah, they usually make sure that they partner with major brands, right? I know, like for example, in South Africa, the EFC brand, they have partnered with this bad like mattress making company and whatnot. Yeah, but with the UFC Foundation, yeah, man, they really know marketing. And then once again, like they don't like invest much in fighters, like in like when they choose you as a fighter to be the face of their company, right?
Yeah.
They don't just choose anybody. They choose stars, my guy. If if I take you a couple of years back, McGregor, I think McGregor was that biggest
Yeah.
cash cow, let me say that, to date. Before that, there were guys like Ned Sarah, uh, John Jones, yeah. And then this lady, yeah, I can't remember her name right now, but she's the one who went to WWE. Yeah,
Oh,
run,
Ronda,
run,
Ronda Rousey.
yeah, yeah, right. So that's one of the things that make them like to be number one, right?
Yeah.
They partner with with big companies, your ESPNs, yeah, then your Fox, yeah, um, and then they choose wisely, like who they want to be like
Then
UFC, man.
looking at the with everything that's going on now at the UFC, who would you say is your favorite fighter
Oh
from the
man,
guys?
yeah. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, okay, okay. Uh, let me span it across weight divisions, right?
Yeah,
I honestly don't have one guy who will say, oh, okay, this guy I'm gonna follow and I love him. I don't care about
yeah,
the other guy. But you know, uh, in like your heavyweight, right? Daniel Cormier was my guy, but now he kind of called it quits. So Ngannou, Francis Ngannou. I think if he gets a chance to win the title, he can be a dominating force. Um, so Francis Ngannou, the heavyweight, and then if we go to lightweight, I, yeah, in lightweight, who do I have? Tony Ferguson. Tony Ferguson, my guy. Like, yeah, Tony Ferguson is my
yeah, the
guy.
beast.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah. I love these guys who are crazy, like who put everything on the line when they get into the ring. Um, and then yeah, obviously Nurmagomedov is good. Is good. It's really good. But I feel like he hasn't met his match yet. But yeah, um, and then you have guys like in the welterweight. I kind of like in the welterweight. Okay, yeah, the current champion, Kamaru Usman.
Usman.
He yeah, Usman. He's my guy at the moment. He fights really well. He has a very good fight IQ. So he's my guy. He's my guy right now. And I don't know, maybe a lot of people maybe are gonna are gonna shout at me for this one. Kobe Covington, like Covington, my guy.
Mm.
He's a he's a good fighter, but what he spits out, I don't know. It's a facade. Yeah, maybe it worked for him. Nobody knew him a couple of years back, but when once he started saying all those like crazy stuff, make America great again, people started looking at him. But that guy can fight, my guy. That guy can fight. I mean, he's ranked at what now? I think number two, right? So
Yeah,
man, that guy is talented. If he can push out all this negative energy away from him, and then really start um, to master the craft and really uh, take fighting to heart, man, he would be a problem. He would be a problem. And in the middleweight, right now, yeah, I'll go for my guy Israel Adesanya.
is
Uh,
yeah.
he's yeah, he's a showstopper. Like, man,
He's a
he's good.
performer.
He's good. So, and then if we talk about your featherweight, with the featherweight now. The- Now, okay, Max for me, Max Holloway has been good on that division, and then to like light heavyweight, as I said, John Jones. John Jones is like my guy, John Jones. But as I said again, he has like some of these guys have negative energies surrounding them. If they can throw that away, yeah, they can be a force to reckon with. And then on the women's side, Valentina Shevchenko, yeah, that's my girl right there. Like I watch her every time. Like, and then Amanda Nunes, I love her because she dominates. She dominates. She
Yeah.
doesn't play around. And then on the stowage, I don't know if you saw the last fight, but this lady from China, what's her
Oh,
name?
the from
Zhang.
this past weekend.
Not this past weekend. This past weekend, the fights were not that pretty good.
Yeah.
But if you can check out this lady called Zhang,
Zay.
she had a
Yeah.
big Zhang. She had a big fight. I think UFC two something. Yeah, I'll check it out. I'll check it out. But she fought this lady, this other lady, and at the end of the fight, man, they were in bruises, man. Like the other lady's head was like this big. Yeah, you
Yeah,
saw that fight.
I saw the fight. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. I started following her from there. So yeah, those are my people.
And then I give, maybe it's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I usually don't enjoy the heavyweight fight as much as I would enjoy the welterweight or the flyweight.
Mhm.
Because with those guys, I feel horrid. There's a bit of agility. You can see those takedowns. But with heavyweight, you just throw punches and that's it.
uh, okay. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The reason why people love heavyweights is that there's a matter of life and death involved, right? Like it's exciting
Yeah.
because these guys they have heavy hands, right? So everybody's looking out for that one punch that will land and knock the other guy out, right? Basically, when I watch heavyweights, I'm not looking like for the agility, as you said. They cannot move those guys. So what I'm looking for is basically technique, right? Is like I want to see if this guy would knock the other guy in a minute or so because they have heavy hands, right? So
Yeah.
for me, that's the fun part of watching heavyweights is that life or death aspect to it, and then quick knockouts. So yeah.
So if you were to pick Khabib or McGregor,
Oh man, McGregor. Okay, okay. Excuse me, McGregor. McGregor. I feel like McGregor. McGregor is showtime, right? Is what the sport needs, right? But as a fighter, he still has a long way to go. He still has a long way to go. There's some things he really needs to master, but no doubt he can throw a punch, right? But man, a lot of money is in his head. Basically, that's it. When you talk of your Khabib has mastered what we call sambo. Yeah, sambo, the fighting technique that is heavily favored in Russia. So it's like jiu-jitsu, but not that technical. He has mastered that. Every fight of his, he goes in there and takes guys to the ground, and he has mastered that. For now, I'll go with Khabib based on that fact that he has really mastered the sambo fighting technique, and nobody till now has found a remedy to what he's doing. So I think he's my guy for now. But I'm a fan of McGregor because he brings all the
yeah,
yeah,
high.
all that energy, hype, everything, right? And he's a showstopper. Like who has gone like uh, two like gone into two divisions and then haven't like taken a long time to capture the titles as McGregor did. He basically like if like man he just like spent if I say like less than 15 minutes to be a two division champion. So that's how good he is in terms of capitalizing the moments that are given to him. But yeah, we saw what happened with the fight with Khabib. All the noise, but he didn't have a game plan to Khabib's fighting style.
So coming up to UFC 253, It's Easy versus Costa. Who's your money on?
Ah, man. But okay. As I said before, on that division, I'm going with Adesanya. But here's the thing with Adesanya, Adesanya is like if you know ballet, like he's like he's a dancer in the ring, right? He likes to take his time to break
Yeah,
down opponent and whatnot. With Costa, yeah, he's fighting that guy, right? Ish. I with Costa,
tough.
he's
Because
he's
I was
he's kind of like a
having,
pit bull, right?
yeah, having watched some of Costa's fight, I
Yeah.
don't think maybe it would be advisable for Adesanya to go pound for pound with him, because
He
yeah,
no, he's
literally
not.
knock him out.
He's not gonna do that. You can't do that with a pit bull. No sir,
Yeah,
no sir. He's not gonna do that. The same strategy he had fighting Yoel Romero. That's what he's
yeah,
gonna do. He's gonna stay away, and then he's gonna try to counter Costa. But I think Costa right now he's working on his stamina. So they're probably going to try and take Adesanya into the deep rounds, like yeah, into the later rounds, and then maybe try to get him on the ground, and then see the fight from there. But no, not in a million years will Adesanya's camp try to go toe to toe with Costa. That guy is a pit bull, man. But
so
yeah, for now, I'll just say Adesanya. Adesanya for me.
Adesanya. Okay.
Yeah.
Then moving to the ladies division. Currently, we know already Nunes holds the bantamweight and the flight weight. How good is she?
Man, I feel like now she should be fighting with the men. That's how that's how that's how dominant she is. Like she
Yeah.
dominates everybody. She dominates everybody. But man, yeah, she she's not taking damage while she fights. Like when I started watching her, it was kind of like 2 years back, right? But this last year, yeah, she had a fight which was very close. Her opponent was really giving her a challenge. It went into the deep rounds. She didn't knock out her opponent, or she wasn't that dominant. Uh, hey, man, she right now she just needs to work on her stamina, and then pick her fight, like her opponents really well. Because if she like has an open door, taking LMX 2 fights a year, somebody's going to knock her out, because her stamina is not that really great right now. But yeah, she is good on a level where I feel like she if there are rules that need to be changed, please do change them. She needs to start with some of these out here.
There was also, I think it was after her last bout, there was
Yeah.
talk of her fighting Shevchenko. I don't know. What do you think about that
Uh,
fight?
oof, 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 oof. Yeah, that's a that's a dream fight right there.
Yeah,
If no, but here's what I think. UFC is not gonna make that fight based off the fact that Nunez right now is the star. Shevchenko right now is the star. So having two stars come and battle it out and have like, okay, this one. um, uh, or this one has won against the other, it kind of like shifts attention to one person. But right now, the attention is divided between the two
Yeah.
ladies, right? So I think it's best for the UFC to keep it as it is right now. If it happens, man, it wouldn't be good for the sport, right? But it's a dream fight, but it would be bad for the sport. It's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. Sam, in closing, any last words?
Any last words? Yeah, I feel like, yeah, if somebody who has like big bucks here in Botswana who's listening, please get the papers in order. Let's get our own like federation here that deals with like MMA. We have your karate foundations that are already there. We have the Budo Federation, guys who are really making it big. But we could be putting our country on the map if we could just have a federation which caters for MMA and hosts MMA tournaments, yeah, stuff like that. Because MMA is really a big business. Once you set it up, that means you bring in marketing, you bring in gym subscriptions, and then you bring in international awareness of you, right? Um, you can bring in other stars from other countries to come and fight. And in doing that, it also puts our country on the map. Probably we have fighters here in the country that can really compete um, uh, 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 um, on these international competitions, right? So why not give it a shot? So for me, I'll say that, and I'll tell whoever is listening, kids out there, like try out combat sports, right? Myself, I have done karate and I have done judo. So yeah, they teach discipline, they teach self awareness. Um, on top of that, you keep fit, right? So yeah.
I think one question I forgot to ask you.
Uh-huh.
Does the sport pay?
Ooh, my God. Have you seen have you well, have you seen the documentaries about McGregor where he was I think it's 6 or 7 years ago, where like he was like talking about he was on the unemployment line somewhere there in Ireland. Uh, yeah, he's from Ireland, right? Yeah, yeah, and then 4 years later, he's sitting. He takes this picture sitting in front of. I don't know if it was a bank, a bank door or something like that, and he's sitting on a pile of cash, right? I don't know if it was 32 million at that time or whatever. The pay cut he received after fighting
With
Mayweather.
Mayweather? Yeah.
Yeah, but not to take shine away from the UFC, right? Before that, he was still making bank, right? Um, it pays, it pays, it pays, it pays, it pays. It can change somebody's life. Like if you are in Africa and you go to South Africa, you win your first fight, probably you can rake in close to 10K a night, right? Just from one fight, win or lose, right? If you're a good fighter, win or lose. And now think of if you sign under brands like UFC. This guy is like Cormier, the previous heavyweight champion. He was clocking at 3 million when he fights, right? Like signing, just signing. I don't know about all the other money he makes on the side, but just from the organization on signing, it's quite a lot of money. It's quite a lot of money. And when you ascend to the levels of your McGregors, your John Jones, your Khabibs, you can just sit there and say, okay, give me 5 million, give me 10 million. So it's yeah, it pays, it pays, it pays.
Mr. Sam, let's call it a day.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining me.
definitely.
Uh, hopefully, we'll get to talk some other time, maybe after UFC 253,
Yeah.
and we get to break it down and see how it goes.
All right, all right. No, thanks, my guy. Thanks, my guy.
All right. Thank you for joining me. Yeah?
All right, peace.
All right. Cool. Thank you guys for joining the Monday session of the show. We just wrapped up our conversation with Sam, UFC fanatic, discussing the UFC and the MMA. Thank you for joining me. See you again.